Hey vinyl community, it's Michael. Welcome back to Near Wild Heaven. Um, First of all, before I start anything, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who watched my last video. I've got, at last count, I had like 1,900 views. So, yeah, that's great. So keep it up, people. Um, If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And you can click the notification button for any of my future video releases. So with all that out of the way, um, this video is going to be vinyl finds, stuff that I found uh, in January at local record stores and a few online purchases. But before I do that, I want to mention first this album. This was sent to me by Cosmic Brian as VCLT. This is a band called The Young Eyes. It's from 2017. I want to show this again because when I first showed it, I had never listened to it. And since then, I've listened to it, and it's a great album. It's really good. It's like neo-psych. Um, the guitar work on this is excellent. It's kind of a little 60s influence to it, and maybe a little bit avant-garde, but great album, really good. If you haven't heard this, The Young Eyes, name of the album is Infinite Light. You might want to check this one out. It's really good. And thank you so much, Brian, for sending me this. It's a really good album. I really appreciate it. And another VCLT I got was from Steve Carlson. This is Jimi Hendrix War Heroes. This is an album that was released after his death in 1972. It's the last one I needed to complete my Jimi Hendrix reprise. I was trying to get all his albums that were released on reprise. And this was the last one I needed. Yeah, it's really good. Bleeding Heart is great. Highway Child, Tax Free, Peter Gunn, and Stepping Stone. All of it's really good. Good quality music from Jimi Hendrix. So many Hendrix fans out there probably already have this and know about it, but it's a great album if you want to check it out. Jimi Hendrix War Heroes from Steve Carlson. So thank you very much, Steve. All right, first up, this is Orangutan. This is an online purchase I got a couple weeks ago. This is really, really good. It's hard, heavy rock. Similar in style maybe to Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, classic rock, but really good. I've spun this a few times already since I've got it. Yeah, it's a good album. I Can See Inside Your Head, Slipping Away is really good. Fly Me High, all of it. It's really good. Really good hard rock from the early 70s. I believe this originally came out in 1971, and this is a reissue from 2022 on the Samor label. I'm not sure where that's from. Doesn't really say what country it's from, but yeah, great stuff from Orangutan. Classic hard rock from the early 70s. Really good stuff. This next one, this is an upgrade for me. This is Blues Vibes. I found this in a local record store. This album is in such good shape. This cover is beautiful. No ring wear, nice sharp corners. Really good stuff. Really good blues rock, 60s. This came out in 68, I believe. There's a original Sire label when it was released through London Records, but really good stuff. Really, really good. I just love this album. It's so good. They have another album called Resurrection, and it's like totally opposite of this one. It's like pure psychedelia. But this one, if you dig British hard blues rock, this will do it for you. This is blues vibes. Up next, this is Are You Experienced by T Swift and the Electric Bag. This is one of those exploitation albums that were thrown together by, this is Custom Records, some crappy little label like Pickwick or something. But labels like these, they would hire studio musicians and tell them, you know, like, well, we need a psychedelic album, so they go in the studio and they just record all this stuff. And the music on here has been reissued under different titles by different bands. If you know about, there was one of these by a fictional band called The Animated Egg. It's the same people that did this one. But this is really good. I mean, I know it was just made cheaply and to cash in on a psychedelic craze at the time in the late 60s. But the guitar work on this is really good. Lots of fuzz. You know, just great stuff, you know. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, check it out. This is T Swift and the Electric Bag, and they do it's a cover of Jimi Hendrix song Are You Experienced, but they also do some original stuff too. But great album if you like this kind of stuff. T Swift and the Electric Bag. Up next, this is the Murlocs. It might be kind of hard for you to see there, but this is an album called Locomotive from 2018, I believe. It doesn't say, but it's somewhere around there, 2017, 2018. These guys are pretty good. Australian band. I really enjoyed this. It's kind of alternative rock. Maybe similar to Hoodoo Gurus a little bit, but not as jangly as the Hoodoo Gurus can be. But really good stuff. Really enjoyed this one. Murlocs, Locomotive. Up next, this is Silver Apples. This is from 1968 on the Cap label. This is electronic music. It's a duo. One guy, Dan Taylor, plays percussion and does vocals. And the other guy, his name is Simeon, and he does vocals, and he also invented an instrument which he calls a Simeon. And that's most of the instrumentation on this album is done by that machine that he invented, but actually it's probably just like a primitive synthesizer, but really good, kind of trippy at times. Just good stuff. If you're interested in this, Silver Apples, self-titled. They had a second album after this. I don't remember the name of it, but I haven't heard that one, but I'd like to get a hold of it someday. But this one's pretty good. I was surprised. I've seen this album around a few times and thought about it, and I finally listened to it online and I liked it. So when I saw it again, I grabbed it. But great album, Silver Apples, self-titled from 1968. Good electronic experimental music. Up next, This is Lords of Altamont, uh, Midnight to 666. This is really good. It's garage rock, similar in style to the Helicopters or like the Stooges, MC5, Radio Birdman. It's another band that comes to mind listening to this. But really good stuff. Hard and heavy, kind of psyche at times, but mostly like garage Stooges type stuff. But really good. Lords of Altamont, Midnight to 666. Good stuff. Up next, this is a strange one. This is a Lollipop Shop. This originally came out in 1967, I believe. This is a reissue from 1986 on Big Beat Records. This includes 2 extra songs than the original press of this. I guess after they recorded this album, they also recorded a single that wasn't on the album, and this contains both songs from the single. But pretty good stuff. Kind of folky at times. Sounds a little bit like Love. Maybe the early Love, be somewhere like around their first and second album. But really interesting. Really good stuff. I really enjoyed this. The first time I heard it, I was kind of like, it's alright. But after a few more listens, it kicked in. It's pretty good. I really enjoy this one. It's the Lollipop Shop. And the one guy on here that does the lead vocals, his name is Fred Cole. He went on to be in the 70s and 80s. He was in a band called the Dead Moon that were kind of garage rock punk, more harder edged than this. But really good stuff. Maybe you want to check this one out if you don't already know about it. It's the Lollipop Shop. And up next, I just discovered this band. These 2 albums by them I found. The first one's the Night Beats, self-titled. It's really good neo-psych, garage psych, I guess. But so good. Lots of really good guitar work on here. Just great stuff. I really like this a lot. Got a little bit of a 60s feel to it, but mostly it's more modern sounding, lots of feedback, like a pounding tribal drum sound in some of the cuts, but really good stuff. I really like this a lot. It's Night Beats. It's their self-titled first album. And I liked that one so much I went back and got this one too. This one's called Sonic Bloom. This came out in 2013. It's more of like the other album, garage psych. Lots of heavy feedback guitar, wah-wah and all that stuff. It's really good. If you don't know about these guys, check them out. Sonic Bloom is the name of the album. The name of the band is Night Beats. Really good psychedelic stuff. And up next, this is the Pixies, Come On Pilgrim. I got this online. This is one Pixies album I didn't have. It's actually like an EP. There's 8 songs on it. Really good stuff. If you like the Pixies, if you like Surfer Rosa, that's similar in style to this. Well, this is their first recording, so yeah, just really good stuff from the Pixies. You all know the Pixies. You all love the Pixies. Great stuff. Glad to have it in my collection finally. Up next is The Shadows of Night. This is from 1969. This is after there were some personnel changes in the band, and they hooked up with the hit makers from Buddha Records, the Cassinet's Cats organization, or whatever you want to call them, the ones who were responsible for 1910 Fruit Gum Company and Ohio Express and all that stuff. But yeah, it's good. It's not as good as the Shadows' earlier stuff, but it's still pretty good. I'm still glad to have it. It's got a few songs on it that are a little bit meh, but the rest of it is really good. So it's glad to have it in my Shadows of Night collection. Really good album. Up next, it's got a few more here. Up next is Juicy Lucy, hard rock from the 70s. This is really good. Really like this one a lot. I'd like to check out a few more of their other albums, but this, I believe, is their first album. Hard, heavy guitar. What can I say? It's 70s hard rock. I don't know, compare it to maybe Leaf Hound, stuff like that. But good stuff. I really enjoyed this one. Juicy Lucy. Up next, this is Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. This is the first album with Ronnie James Dio on vocals. I resisted buying this album for a long time because I kind of gave up on Black Sabbath after Ozzy left. I really wasn't too interested in anything past that. But the last couple of years I've heard some of the stuff. I got the other one, Born Again. That has Glenn Hughes on vocals. But this is the first one with Ronnie James Dio. And excellent album. It almost sounds similar to earlier Black Sabbath. I mean, the guitar riffs are there. You know, Tony Iommi was, cooking on this one. And I think Ronnie James Dio brought some life back into the band, and they picked up. So really good stuff. Any Black Sabbath fans out there probably have this or know about it, but great stuff. Heaven and Hell, the title song. Wishing Well is really good. Walk Away, Neon Nights, all good. Classic Black Sabbath. Really good stuff. And last one, this is Rob Zombie, it's White Zombie. This is their first album, L'Exorcisto, Devil Music, Volume 1, from 1992. Pretty good. This is another band that I kind of resisted getting into, but I heard a few things by Rob Zombie's solo stuff I kind of liked, so I checked this out, and turns out I really like it. It's really good. It's got that 90s pummeling sound to it, like Nine Inch Nails and stuff like that. Really good beats. What more can I say? Just good stuff from White Zombie, their first album, L'Exorcisto, Devil Music Volume 1. I love that artwork on there, done by Rob Zombie. But great stuff, great album from the 90s. Rob Zombie or White Zombie, I don't know why I keep saying Rob Zombie, but anyway, that's it for this week. And thank you again so much to everybody who watched my last video, and thank you to everyone who subscribed. And I guess that'll be it. And I'll see you again on the next video. Take care, VC.